Time for Focus now. Today, how is it possible to have a country which is veritably swimming in crude oil, but where less than half the population has electricity? That's the situation in Nigeria, according to figures from the World Bank. Residents of Africa's most populous nation live with daily power cuts, and most rely on generators for their everyday needs. The country's touted as an emerging economy to watch, but can it fix its problems of infrastructure and oil supply in order to meet its touted potential? France 24's Anna Cunningham and Moise Gomez report.
Power cuts are a daily part of life in Nigeria, and businesses get badly hit. Even operating a funeral parlour is no exception. But at this undertakers in Port Harcourt, the capital of Southern Rivers State, workers describe a constant battle against the continuous power outages.
We don't have power to power most of our equipment, like the big fridges and all that. So it's actually affecting us. What we have been able to do is to close the other part down and doing dry environment in order to survive. Yes.
Nigeria's new president, Muhammadu Buhari, is facing a battle to deal with Nigeria's decrepit power system. And with a population estimated to be 173 million, the need is widespread. Experts say Nigeria requires more than 12,000 megawatts per hour, but currently it produces only about a quarter of that.
The 3,000 megawatts or less than 3,000 megawatts we are generating currently is lower than what Dallas, a state in the US, is generating.
Nigeria is Africa's biggest economy, yet basic facilities continue to fail the consumer. In 2013, part of the electricity sector was privatised, and there were hopes that this move would improve the situation and better supplies. But private companies like Schneider Electric could not hide the problems of maintenance and a chronic lack of investment in properly functioning equipment.
Certain equipments today are no longer being manufactured. There are no spares for them. So when there's a breakdown, it takes hours, if not years, and sometimes the equipments are finally abandoned, and people in that area or that region are cut off from the grid for a long period.
But in some areas, like this village on the outskirts of the capital, Abuja, alternative power supplies have gained success, bringing much-needed light to businesses. The state government, along with private financing, has allowed rechargeable solar panels to be installed on every building. Permanent and free electricity has now changed the lives for residents in Durumi.
The panel gives us light 24 hours. It doesn't go off. We are really, I'm even confident to come here at any time of the night to take delivery, and it has made the work easier.
In a country where fuel is essential to power everything, from cars to electricity generators, it can prove difficult to change people's ways. But to address Nigeria's energy shortcomings, some are trying to highlight the vast waste of resources.
For the kind of equipment or appliances that we use, they are energy intensive. When we save energy at one point, we make that energy available to somebody else.
But in a country whose population spends €10.7 million a week to generate its own electricity, the message might not be getting through. And the current status quo creates a prime market for importers of electricity generators.
They don't really want the power sector in the country to get it right. They don't want it to work because they are profiteering from the business of importation of generator. So government needs to put a stop at the importation of generator.
Nigeria is at a turning point. It's predicted that by 2050, its population will exceed 250 million, and the need for power will only increase. But if outdated facilities continue, say those needs will not be met. A recent fuel crisis saw the country grind to a halt, with planes grounded due to no aviation fuel, daily queues at the few petrol stations that had supplies. It only led to highlight the desperate need that Nigeria has to address its future in terms of power supplies and to stabilise the sector for a growing nation.